All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until probably around 5 o'clock. Probably till around 5 o'clock. I got to run out, make some more deliveries. But everybody, come on in. Come on in. Whew, feel like it's been a long time. Feel like it's been a long time. Look, I believe with every fiber of my being that I got all of the bugs out of the system. But if I freeze up or something like that, then that just means I need a new computer. That means it's time to go buy a new computer, and then I will go buy a new computer. So, because I've done everything that I can do, and sometimes, just it's time to just get a new something or another here or there. But welcome to the show. Like I said, it's been a long time. Thank you all for all of your patience. And again, like I said, when I get out of here, I got to make some deliveries. I thank you everyone who supported the awareness shirts, the awareness hoodies. Daryl. Okay. I see you, Daryl. I got you. I'll hit you with a message, and then you can tell me where you want me to deliver your hoodies again. But thank you to everybody who supported it. Y'all are keeping me a little busier than I thought I would be doing this. But it's all good. It's all good. Because again, it's all going to a worthy cause. And if you didn't get one, if you don't want one, if you like, I ain't into that, that's cool too. Because, it is what it is. Some people want it, some people don't. Hold on, I got to close these things there. And hold on, get back here. There we go. So it's all good either way. Let's see what is going on. Well, everybody know what's going on. It's really the biggest thing going on in Cincinnati. I'm not going to discuss it yet because y'all know how I do. I got to say hello to the people who support me. I appreciate y'all. First, let me say hello to everybody who I delivered, because that's what I've been doing with the shirts. Unless you live out of town, yours go in the mail and get delivered that way. But if you bought a shirt and you live in Cincinnati or in the greater Cincinnati area, I'm personally delivering all of the shirts. Number one, it's personal. It's personal. And that whole business it's personal to me. So I want to deliver it to you and thank you personally. And number two, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to just drive to you or meet you somewhere. You tell me where to meet you. Or, I can just drop them off. Somebody said just put it in the package, drop it on the porch, because that's what the UPS man do. So that's what I did. I put it in the package, boom, dropped it on the porch. They was cool. So I appreciate everybody. It was nice to meet you too, Regina. It was nice to meet you. So yeah, I appreciate all of y'all. But those people who I get opportunity to meet and thank personally, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all support of the show, of me, and just promoting breast cancer awareness. And my goal with that whole thing is, because this is the way I look at it for breast cancer awareness. The goal is when you see all of this pink and stuff, you should be thinking, hopefully, let me get tested. Let me get tested. That's it. Let me get tested. Because y'all know, for me, that's what it's all about. Moms, if she would have got tested a little earlier, then she could possibly still be here with us. So I want everybody to get tested so you can be here longer with your people. So that's that. But other than that, let me say hello to the people, and then, we got to talk about it. Robert Willis in the house. Good afternoon, Robert. Got Lewis Talbert in the house, representing Sharonville. Good afternoon, Lewis. Pamela Kinney, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Erica Hummins, representing Reading. Good afternoon. And rounding out the top five, Scott Bain, representing West Walnut Hills. Good afternoon to you guys, the top 5. First 5 in. I don't have a prize or nothing for y'all, but y'all the first 5 in, and I appreciate y'all. Dwayne representing Mount Airy, good afternoon, and Maria representing North College Hill, good afternoon to you too. Of course, you can't have a show without some hate. Myosha, I don't believe it. We get a show today? You're just such a hater. Why are you like that? Why are you like that? What happened to you when you was growing up? No, I love Myosha. And I love it when she hates. It's a beautiful thing. Good afternoon, my Osha. Drea, representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Got Carolyn Smith in the house. Good afternoon, Carolyn. Daryl says, there's my ninja. I don't know how I feel about that. What up, E-Man? Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Got Yissy Reed. Good afternoon, representing Bond Hill. Good afternoon. And he says, sorry about the caps, it's all cool. Nick Brown in the house, representing beautiful Blue Ash. Good afternoon, Miss Pittsburgh. Good afternoon. Vincent Jones from Blue Ash. Good afternoon. Got Lamont Jones. Are y'all married? Lamont Jones, Grand Day, Powerful Royal People, representing Westwood. Good afternoon. Regina Denson Griffin says, good afternoon from Beachmont. Thanks again for my hoodie. You good with me. All right. Can't beat that. LaDonna, good afternoon, representing East Price Hill. Blade says, hey, buddy. What's up, Blade? We got Nat Turner. Good afternoon. Jerica, also known as Jerica. She says, hola, me familia. Hola to you too. Brent Beard. Brent, yours is in the mail. It should be arriving really soon. Actually, I could just send you the tracking information, but you'll get it. You straight. Brent representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. Let's see. Jason representing Clifton. Good afternoon, Jason. Brent says, E-Man, you can just hitch a ride on Lincoln's private jet and meet me at the airport to deliver my hoodie. You're not getting me thrown out of no jet at 30,000 feet. Ron, what's up with you? Good afternoon. Robert says, I will take 1-2X and tell me where to meet you. Robert, shoot me either an email, Emanuel Livingston at yahoo.com. Put in the subject line hoodie or afternoon experiment hoodie or cancer hoodie or something with a hoodie in there, and I'll get back with you. Or just send me a message. A private message, I guess it's called, direct message on the personal channel, Emanuel Livingston, and I'll get with you, and we'll work everything out. Look, I'm flexible in that way. I want to make it easy for you, so yeah, I can meet you somewhere, I can deliver it to your house, to your job, whatever, and we'll make it happen. Yassi says, missed everything last week. Can I still order some swag? Have to wait until payday. Again, same. Shoot me an email, Emanuel Livingston at yahoo.com, or a message on the personal Facebook page, and I'll get with you. And yeah, we'll work everything out. It's all good. Veronica. The song always pops into my head. Representing College Hill. Veronica, good afternoon. We got Brenda representing Fairfield. Good afternoon, Brenda. Jeannie Mulholland. She says, happy hump day to you too. Logic Slayer in the house. We're officially in the good half of the week, all right? Al Johnson, Middletown in the house. Jeannie says she's representing Covington, Kentucky, by the way. Crystal Hoskins, representing the Christ Hospital, Mason today. All right, moving on up. Or down, I'm not sure. Maybe laterally, I don't know. Crystal, good afternoon. Let me see. Janice says, hi, everybody. Hi, Janice. David, Harry, good afternoon. Little baby, of course, she's not here today. E-Man and Afternoon Experiment fam. He's representing Westchester. Can't beat that. And no alert for the show. Oh, sorry. Daryl says, the hoodies are pretty good material, y'all. You won't be disappointed. Hey, I try to do it right. And I'm a whole, make the customer happy type of thing. So, yeah, I try. Tanika, representing Orlando, Florida. Good afternoon. David want to know, is the comment intro music back? No, the comment intro music probably won't be back until Monday, but I might try to get it in there for tomorrow. I might try. See how I didn't really promise anything. All right, that's it. That's all the hellos so far. So, hello to everyone who did not send a message and say hello to me. I appreciate y'all for checking us out. Mika Owens, council member, Mika Owens, Reggie Harris. See, I don't have this stuff written down, which I really should have, because y'all know 17th degree and age and all that kind of stuff. It'd be hard for me to remember stuff. But Mika Owens, because Reggie Harris stepped down to take a position with the Biden administration, HUD, something to that nature. So she was the designee, and she says, hey, you get, or that says you get the opportunity to, excuse me, to give someone, you get the opportunity to give someone that seat. Y'all excuse me, my throat is dry. And she gave it to, what is his name? I don't know why I keep wanting to say Ernest. That man's name is not Ernest. What is his name? See, that's that 17th degree. She gave it to, it don't matter his name. She gave it to the white guy. He's a Democrat. And, I was listening to Wyatt on the way in. Evan, thank you. She gave it to him. I was listening to Wyatt on the way in. I don't know much about Evan Nolan. I don't know much about Evan. Did I say white boy? If I see a white boy, he's a white boy. What's wrong with that? The white guy, the white man. I'm sorry. He's an adult. He's not a boy. I apologize. She gave it to Evan Nolan, who's a Caucasian man, even though he's a Democrat. And I was listening to Wyatt, and I understood he was talking to Demetrius when I heard him. And I'm aware of Demetrius. I know Demetrius from when I used to work at Charlie Winburn's church, and I like Demetrius Hill. I like him just as a person. He was always a cool dude. He's kind of funny, in a comedic way. Funny, He always, he's just a nice guy, and he's an interesting personality. Of course, a lot of what he said, I wholeheartedly agree with. Some of what he said, you got to question it just a little bit, because of course your opinions are also mixed in with, even the facts that you give, the way that you interpret information. Even though you're giving me factual information, it's a way that you can present. I mean, we see it. You watch MSNBC, you watch Fox. They can both present the same factual information, but they're going to have their own spin on it, because you can even present facts differently based on your opinion. So I think he gave a lot of interesting information. I think I'm on the side of, if you got a black majority, you keep a black majority. Here's my question. Can anybody tell me, and it's not like a trivia question, it's an honest question because I can't remember. Can anybody tell me of a time when a white person on city council stepped down and a black person was appointed in their place? When's the last time that happened? I'm sure it has happened, but when's the last time that happened? And I ask that question, of course, because it's a little bit of a power dynamic. even though, that one seat, and you can't always say that black people are going to vote together as a block because we don't always agree with everything that every black person agrees with. But if you put me and this, four other left-leaning black people together, if we want to, we're going to work together. And see, I'm trying to kind of dance around stuff. Look, if I'm on city council, and this is just me, I think if I'm on city council, as a black voting bloc, we're going to be powerful. We're going to be powerful. And if you're on city council with me and you black, and of course, I'm black, and I see, I'm having a hard time negotiating with you to vote for things in the interest of the black community, I'm telling the black community on you. I'm going to the Lincoln Ware Show. I'm going to Wyatt Live. I'm going to the Afternoon Experiment. I'm even going to whatever Nathan Ivy's new show is called. I'm going to the Inquirer. Excuse me. I'm going to the Herald. I'm going to all the news stations. I'm going to say, look, we are trying to work together to better Cincinnati and everybody in Cincinnati. And this person keeps not going along with the program. Because people don't, look, there's a way for black people to wield power. And for whatever reason, it doesn't happen the way that it should happen. Black people, if you got a black majority, y'all can block some stuff. I mean, look, I never worked for city council. Okay, I don't know all of the particulars. But I know, look, if y'all want this money approved for this thing, I'm not voting for it unless there's some black people involved. Some black companies basically on par with whatever this white company is that's about to make all of this money. Whatever, but Daryl says, see, you didn't even have to plug Dion Griffin's new podcast. Now, would he do it for you? Probably not, but I can't let how other people function dictate who I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually a little bit of what I'm talking about. Because it happens not just on city council, but it happens all over the place. I want to see black people succeed. I want to see white people succeed too, but I want to see us succeed at the same level. And so because you might be a hater, for whatever reason, don't mean I got to be a hater. Feel me? So if I'm on city council, I'm saying, look, I'm not voting for that unless this other firm is also a partner. Well, but they don't know what to tell you. And we should, all five of us, black people, be able to sit together and say, look, we want to see progress too. Yes, we want to see progress too. But we want to benefit from that same progress. If it's going to hurt the black community, a majority black community, I'm no. But it's going to do great things in this, but it's going to hurt this one. And I don't know that I'm going to say play the game even though it's not a game. I don't know that we always play the game right. And look, I don't know Mika Owens. I think I've met Mika Owens once. And I doubt that she would remember me Of course, I don't remember her because when I met her, she was a city council person, and it was like, "Hi, how you doing?" And she was like, "Hi, how you doing?" And I think we shook hands, and that was the entire interaction, as best as I can remember. But I'll be honest, I did get the feeling from kind of listening to her and hearing her story and all of that kind of stuff that I'm going to say that she was down. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got the feeling that she was down. And again, my question is out there, and if anybody knows, please tell me, when was the last time that a white person stepped down off city council and was replaced by a white person or with a black person by a white person? Because that's all important. If I'm a white guy and my designee is a white guy and I step down, what are the chances that that white guy is going to appoint a black person? And I know, I've heard, I guess I should say, because I didn't get a chance to listen. But, people tell me that, Mika Owens kind of said, we don't want to play identity politics. Identity politics is negative and we lose when we play negative. But it's not. It's reality. It's reality. It's disappointing. It's disappointing to me. Now, granted, I don't know that black people always play the game, if we're going to call it that. Nobody called it that but me. So, I don't know that we always play the game right. But again, if you put me and 4 like-minded black people together and we deciding who get money in Cincinnati, we're a major part of those decisions. You can't bully me out of my decision to help my community while helping the city. I think everybody does that. I mean, what Silbach was basically saying, like, I'm disappointed because he was openly gay. Why she didn't appoint somebody openly gay? Nobody criticizing Silbach for having that opinion. But I honestly hear people criticizing black people for feeling like a black person should have appointed a black person. I don't know, y'all. Is there maybe some pressure going on I don't know if there's some pressure going on in the background. I don't know. Aftab, and I'm not saying Aftab bullied anybody. Aftab couldn't bully me. Aftab couldn't promise me nothing. Well, I'll endorse you because, I'm ain't Aftab on his second term? So he's limited. So next time around, he won't be running for mayor. So maybe the promise was if you put my guy in and you run for mayor, I'll endorse you for mayor. Maybe that, you know what I'm saying? Deals get made. I've been a proponent of, and I proposed this a long time ago, and then somebody told me Link is proposing it now as if it's his idea, which is fine. He can say it's his. I proposed a long time ago, and I doubt that I'm the first person to propose it, but I proposed a long time ago. Somebody steps down. You should then look at the list of who ran, and whoever came in 10th, if they're in that same party, or I should say the next highest vote getter from that party should get that seat. I don't know. I think that's a simple way to do it if they want it. So if number 10 is a Democrat and then number 10 say, nah, I done moved on. I got this other, I don't have time to do it. Thank you. Then if number 11 was, who's number 12? Number 12 was a Democrat. You want it. You know what I'm saying? The party should take this on. I don't like this whole, you're my designee. So then you get to decide. I don't like that. It's too much stuff that can go crazy there. Because if it was me, I'm the designee, and Reggie Harrison stepped down, I'm asking people I know and like. They ain't even got to be in politics. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got to be in politics. Like, hey, Nate, you want to be on city council? What do you mean do I want to be? Do you want to be on city council? Like, I don't even live in the city no more. Move back to Cincinnati. Get yourself an apartment. I'm going to appoint you to city council. And then we can be, the Livingston brothers on city council. Like, nah, I ain't doing that. All right. Hey, friend, you want to be on city council? You know what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters, cousins, nieces, nephews. You know, yeah. If I just get to do it, if I just get to... Who you want? Him. Who you want? Her. There should be some sort of criteria. I see where LaDonna said they should be voted in. I think why they don't do that is because special elections are expensive. I mean, ideally, that would be what would happen. Reggie stepping down effective. Well, he's stepping down effective immediately. All right. And we got to get a special election together and everybody come out to vote and we're going to do this and got to get out of there at all of the precincts and board of elections and you got to, and then what if somebody stepped down the next week? Then you got to do the whole process over again. So I understand it's probably expensive. So you just say, look, appoint somebody. Maybe it need to be some rule where there's I won't even say that it's worked up till now because I don't agree that it's really ever worked. But I've never liked the idea that there's some designee who gets to say this person is the person. And I could be thinking wrong, didn't at some point like Cecil Thomas appoint his wife? Wasn't Cecil Thomas's wife appointed? Did Cecil appoint his wife or did somebody else appoint his wife? Or was she elected? Am I off base on all of that? Am I remembering this stuff wrong? Somebody help me. Tell me, am I remembering this wrong? Did Cecil Thomas appoint his wife? If so, I'm not hating on him. Okay, Cecil had someone appoint his wife. Hey. Daryl says, I don't remember his wife being on council. She was, yeah. But yeah, look, I'm not against that. If you could, because I'm telling you, if you put it in my hands, Mrs. Livingston, you won't be on council. You know what I'm saying? I got a seat to give away. I ain't gonna sell it because I'm not trying to go to jail. But if I got it to give away, it's mine to give. It's gonna be somebody I know and like. What if they not qualified? What really qualifies you to be on city council? What really qualifies you? I know we vote and we look at people and, oh, he ain't got no plan. He don't know. That don't matter. All of this stuff that people do when they campaign, even like this presidential election, all this stuff that people do when they, well, here's my plan to do this. You can't really do none of that stuff unless, you know what I'm saying? You should have some sort of a vision, sure. I want to see people in America all have affordable health care. Well, what's your plan? I don't really have a plan. I don't really have a plan, but this is what I want to see. And when I get there, I work with all kind of experts. But you got to have a plan. Here's my plan. We're going to do this and we're going to do this. And then you go to people and then you negotiate and it looks nothing like your plan initially. But we kind of get off on that. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to know you thought about it. You thought about it. You know what I'm saying? You had a plan of sorts. Guess it's better than having done it for 4 years and have still only a concept of a plan. But I don't know. Am I mad at Mika Owens? I'm not mad at Mika Owens. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Because it is important. It is important. Even if, because a lot of times it is, even if it's just for show. I wouldn't give away a majority. I wouldn't give away a majority. Whatever the majority is. Like if it was 5 openly gay dudes on council and one of them made me their designee and he was stepping down, I'd have to go find an openly gay dude. You know what I'm saying? Like the gays got the majority. Gays been running stuff around here. I was going to say something inappropriate, but I'm trying to be more mature. Gays been running stuff around here. I'm not going to just snatch their majority from them. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find an openly gay black dude and you going to be, or openly gay black woman. You going to be my pick. I'm not taking away your majority that the people voted on. I'm not doing it. And not to mention there are qualified black people who wanted the spot. I don't know, y'all. Somebody said she should be embarrassed to go out. People should kind of harass her everywhere she go. I think people should make their opinions known. I'm not against people making. I don't know about harassing her. I don't want to see nobody get harassed. I don't have a problem with people saying, openly, like, hey, I'm disappointed in the way that you handled that. See her out and do like they used to do. Shame. She didn't know what that means. I don't know exactly what that means, but I know old people used to do that, say shame. Maybe somebody can tell me what that meant, but she should hear your voice. She should hear that the black community is disappointed. Will that necessarily make a difference? I don't know. Again, it all depends on, because look, if I got sights on being the mayor, and I'm not saying that this is the case, I'm saying if I have sights on being the mayor at some point, and the mayor comes to me and says, hey, look, put my boy on. I know you want to be the mayor. You put my boy on when I step down, or when you decide to run, you my person. I will endorse you. What? Really? Yes. I got you. You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch your back. Dude, I hate asking questions like this because everybody's different. Do you, as a black person, have loyalty to your blackness? I'm not even sure I asked that question right. Because I hear we shouldn't play identity politics. We shouldn't vote for people because of how they look. We shouldn't this and we shouldn't that. Other groups do it. Nobody criticizes the other groups for doing it. People really only criticize black people. Black people criticize other people for doing it, but only because we recognize it and they act like they don't. But we don't criticize. Nobody has criticized B-Rap.
What's up, E-Man? How you doing? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hold on. Before you go any further, let me make sure the people can hear you. Can y'all hear B-Rap talking? Now, there's a delay, B-Rap. So let the people let me know if they could hear you. Can y'all hear B-Rap on the line? He sounded like he was a little hot. Yes, they can hear you. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, I can hear you, B-Rap. What's up?
No, I'm very confused, E-Man.
Right.
Who I don't know who the person Mika Owens picked is. I don't know what he represents, or even what's his policy. Because sometimes you ever heard the phrase "all skin folk ain't kinfolk"?
I have.
So sometimes even if she would have picked a person of darker hue, doesn't necessarily mean it would have been great representation for us. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do, but B-Rap, she could have chosen a black person who would have been good for us. That's what I'm saying. It's not like she had to just blindly pick a black person and, oh, Clarence Thomas, oh, daggone, I didn't want to pick him. Like, she could have talked to him like, hey, Clarence, you want to be? Like, no, I'm not picking Clarence. He got issues. What about you? You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was a blind, she wasn't on The Voice. She could see them and talk to them and make a decision based on who they are and how they think and all of that kind of stuff. But you could have found a good qualified black person for that position.
Do you think she could have found somebody that's more qualified than the person she picked?
I think she could have found someone. I'm like you. I don't know his qualifications, but I know that in terms of black people in the city of Cincinnati, there are a whole lot of very, very, very well qualified black people that she could have picked. Yes.
So I gotta look into this guy some more and see who he is.
Now,
and
somebody, hold on, Demetrius Hill, who I know he used to work for Winburn and all that kind of stuff, and he's kind of in the know. He says that this guy was AvTab's, I'm gonna say, treasurer for his campaign. He somehow tied to and associated with AvTab.
Oh wow! So you think that was AvTab pulling her coattail about nudging her to get that guy? You think it was he? You think he's behind?
Well, I think anything is possible. I can't say, number one, I can't even independently verify that what Demetrius said is true, even though I have no reason to not believe. I don't know Demetrius to not be an honest person. So I believe him, but that doesn't prove anything. And even if what he's saying is true and this person is attached to AvTab, and yes, somebody also pointed out, and the railroad, he's attached to the railroad thing in some way, shape, or form as well. It wouldn't be surprising that somebody would pull her coattails and say, this dude done paid his behind the scenes dues. It's time for him to get his out in public dues. And Mika, this is who we want you to put in place. But I can't say that happened.
So was this decision solely her decision? She didn't have to get counsel from nobody, advice from anybody. It was just solely her decision.
Well, yes, but that doesn't mean she didn't get counsel from someone. My understanding is she did seek counsel from people, not necessarily black people, but she did, my understanding, and again, I could be misunderstanding, but my understanding is she did seek counsel from people. They may or may not have been black and have the interest of the black community at heart.
Do you think this will hurt her for the next election when she has to run for city council again?
No. Because the reason I don't believe it is because I really don't believe people have a long enough memory, and I think it all depends on how things turn out. Like, maybe if this dude, for real, no, even if this dude ends up being like Donald Trump on city council, people still will overlook that, and they'll be like, she'll say, well, I didn't know he was going to be that way, and people will accept it because we are loving and forgiving as a people in general.
Got you. Okay. All right, that's what's up. I got to do some more research and look into who this guy is, because honestly, I don't see the big hoopla, to be honest with you, because we vote for people who have white husbands. We vote for people who have white wives. We vote for white men. We vote for black men. So for us to be complaining about her appointing a white guy, it's just so confusing.
Wait, B-Rap, I want to understand your position. You're saying, it sounds to me like you're saying it doesn't matter if we have white people on council or black people on council. If we don't need any representation on council because some of our representatives love white people.
Like I said, it comes to the definition of representation. Are we just solely talking about representation as far as skin color, or representation as far as things that we need in our community, things of that nature? Because you can have white representation in there and they still could be for the black community, as for you can have black representation in there and they could be for the white community.
Well,
so
again, I think at least let me just speak for me. What I'm talking about is, B-Rap, you have 5 black people that were elected by the people of the city of Cincinnati. And you can feel like they believe however you think they believe, okay? But you have the majority of people on city council are, let me do it like this. Do you believe, and this is a legit question, that if there was a Jewish majority on city council, and that if one of those Jewish persons stepped down and one of those other Jewish persons were charged with replacing that Jewish person, do you think they pick a black person?
No.
So then,
no.
Why would a black person not pick a black person?
The reason, in my opinion, I'm feeling like she didn't pick a black person is because we seen what we do when we're in office, as far as like when it comes to things that's going on in our neighborhood, things that's going on with our schools. I'm a big advocate for kids. Like, I want to see the kids thrive. I want to see the kids survive.
Okay.
And from the blacks in city council, it seemed like they are putting their business interests above our community now.
Wait.
This white.
Hold on, wait.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
In what way? Like, I'm not sure what you're talking, because we're not talking school board. We're talking city council. So in what way are the black people on council putting their business in front of children?
I mean, you can see, like, if you really look around
Uh-huh.
the city, Emmanuel,
Uh-huh.
you could see there really isn't any change in anything. In Cincinnati, politics is politics as usual, and they look at the black people they don't even respect our vote for number one. Like, you know what I'm saying? They don't care what we think. You think if Mika Owens really cared what we thought, she would put a white person in there?
But
That's
it
how much
sounds,
respect.
but B-Rap, it sounds to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds to me like you saying she shouldn't have put a black person in there. You would have been against her putting a black person in there because you don't particularly want to see black people in leadership in Cincinnati.
You're wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm
Oh.
saying it's her choice, and she feel like she puts the best qualified candidate in there, no matter the skin tone. That's why it goes back to me saying that we're what Shahrazad Ali said on the Lincoln Ware show. Do you still listen to? Does Lincoln Ware still has the best show on radio to you, E-Man?
I don't know because I don't get a chance to listen to it.
Oh man, come on, man. We too grown for this petty little beat.
What is petty? Look, I'm blocked. I'm not the one who blocked me on Facebook, okay? So I'm blocked on Facebook. When I'm at work, because I'm at work during the time that his show is on, I don't have the opportunity to sit in my car and listen. So the only way for me to listen was on Facebook or on, some app. So no, the person, if anybody's being petty with regard to that, it would be the person who actually blocked me, which by the way wasn't Lincoln. I'm not gonna say which roly-poly person it was, but it wasn't. But it wasn't Lincoln. He don't even know how to block nobody. But
there you go, you man. Speaking of me, but I brought his show up because he had Shahrazad Ali on.
Okay.
And she said that between the white man and the black, it doesn't matter the skin tone because we are touting for a presidential candidate who has a white husband. We was touting for a Supreme Court justice who has a white husband.
Wait, hold on, wait. I'm not sure I understand your point, or I guess her point, because doesn't the other presidential candidate have a white wife?
Right, that's my point. We so upset that she didn't.
No. I'm saying, if the criticism is of black people that we're supporting, and I like to make it simple names. We shouldn't support Kamala Harris because she's got a white husband. Then why should we support Donald Trump? He's got a white wife.
No. That's not my point.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's not the point at all.
Well, what's the point?
My point is her Mika Owens appointing this white guy. And why does skin tone matter in certain cases and in certain cases it don't?
What cases are you saying that it don't? Because a black person with a white spouse, you're not appointing the spouse. You're appointing the black person.
It doesn't matter. It's still skin tone, skin color, and they still pillow talk with that person at night. You know what I'm saying?
What?
That's what I'm saying.
But don't Donald Trump pillow talk with his wife at night?
Donald Trump, why he can't even understand what his wife says at night half the damn time.
Don't matter. The point is, if you're disqualifying the candidate because of the color of their spouse, then you'd have to disqualify both of those. But with the color of both spouses being the same, if I'm going on skin tone, then I'm going, I'm going with the black person with the white spouse and not the white person with the white spouse, if that's how I'm picking.
I'm saying that we as a community have to stop picking and choosing what white person to vote for and what white person, a black person we voted for, brought up. Like, it's so confusing to me.
No, you're confused. You're confusing yourself. Because I'll be honest with you, kind of what you're saying is it doesn't make a lot of sense. You just acknowledged. Because look, you just acknowledged that if the parties were different, and it was more than likely if it were Jewish people, there's a really good chance.
I just did.
Right. So why would it be okay for a Jewish person to say, I'm going to appoint a Jewish person, and wrong for a black person to say, I'm going to appoint a black person? I don't understand why you see a difference.
I'm not saying it is not wrong. I'm not saying that at all. All I'm saying is that as far as her pick goes, skin tone or that person being white or the quote-unquote representation, why does that matter now when we had representation in that seat that made us look like thieves, that made us, and white representation as well? As far as like who we had in that seat that's doing jail time, but it was like 3 cities. What was they? I forget their names, man. It was 2. It was
But what? Wait a minute. But wait a minute. But she's not replacing either of those people. You had a majority black Cincinnati City Council. One of those black people steps away, and you appoint someone to make it now a majority white city council.
So if everybody is so upset, at the same time, everybody is like, well, I like Mika Owens. I'm still going to vote for her. Either vote her out or don't complain.
Well, that's silly.
How?
It's silly because of this. As people, as constituents, as voters, we have a right to express our disappointment in decisions that we didn't make. See, we voted. We said we want these 5 black people. This was not an election. This was a legit selection. And instead of going with the will of the people, you went against the will of the people.
She went against the will of the black people.
Right.
Right.
Here's the secret, though. But here's the secret, B-Rap. She's a black person. True. But
right. At the same time, I don't think every black person in the city is upset that she went with that.
No, they're not. There are people like you seem to be one of those people who are like, I don't want no black people in there anyway because they criminals.
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, I think you legitimately, you legit said that. But go ahead.
No, I'm not saying that, man.
Okay.
All I'm saying is I don't see anything wrong with if she felt like this person who was a white guy, I'm assuming, was best for the seat and that probably would help her politically, then I don't see nothing wrong with it if we have white candidates who pander for our votes all the time.
What?
And we blindly vote for them white candidates all the time.
But we did it. So we voted in a black majority. I think that's the point that you're missing. We didn't. As a city, we basically said we want a black majority on council because that's who we voted for. So we didn't blindly vote for white people. We voted for a black majority. And then a black council person said, I'm going to take away y'all black majority and I'm going to make it a white majority.
I could see, don't get me wrong. I can see why people are mad over that. But at the same time, like I said, sometimes our representation, even for black people, ain't good representation. Like, that's all I'm saying.
And I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if you have an opportunity to, which, she did, she legit interviewed people, if you believe the people, because there are people who saying, I interviewed. And so what she's saying is, really, this white guy is better than every other black person in Cincinnati.
So, essentially, what Mika Owens did was, I don't care about what black people think. I'm going to appoint this guy in his seat, and they're going to vote me black. They're going to vote me back in anyway, because these people, they don't know anything politically. They are politically ignorant, and they will forget about this come next election time. That's what it's looking like to me. And we still gonna vote her in, even though everybody is so fake pissed off at her, but they still gonna vote her in.
I believe
because
that.
She's a, black woman. That's the move she make is the disrespect they show towards us and our vote, and how much politically ignorant they feel like we are.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. Thanks for letting me vent, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for the call. All right, that was B-Rap. Because, yeah, if you think about it, that is really what this pick says. Either, y'all, this is purely politics, and I'm kind of getting something out of this, and I can't tell you what it is, but I'm going to benefit. Or she said, hey, this white guy is better than every black guy in Cincinnati. Because she could have picked anybody. And that, I mean, clearly that, if I am hiring, and I got 800,000 black people lined up for the position, and I got this white guy, I'm going to pick this white guy. I'm saying he better than all y'all. I got the pick of all y'all, but this white guy is better than all y'all black asses. So I don't know what to tell you. That's what that says to me. And that she has a right to have that as an opinion. I mean, she's been endowed with the power to select the next council member, and it is what it is. But if you're upset about it, you got a right to be upset. You got a right to be upset because it's important. Nate.
E-Man, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Glad to have you back.
Glad to be back.
Now, let me give you a little institutional knowledge, a little institutional history, if you don't mind. Of course, this is my version of history because I lived through it. You lived through it, too. And so you probably remember some of this stuff. You might correct me if I get something wrong. So I want to go back to early 1990s. I had just came home from the Army. I was in college. 1992, 1993, I became active with black leadership at the time. So on the scene at the time, you had our state senator was a guy named Bill Bowen. He was a black man. He was well respected by a lot of people. You still had Old Man Mallory, Representative William L. Mallory, Sr. He was the state representative from the West End and from that district. Over in, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you told people this before, but we grew up in New St. Paul Baptist Church down on Freeman Avenue. Well, in Avondale, one of the biggest and the most powerful churches at the time was Southern Baptist Church, and it was headed by the senior pastor was named Reverend James Milton, and he was a powerful force in Cincinnati's religious community as well as in the political community. You had Sam Britton, who later went on to become a state representative, and so did his wife. You had a guy named Morris Williams, who I believe is still on the scene out there. Morris headed something called he dealt with fair housing, and Morris learned how to work the banks and how to get people money and houses, and he did a whole bunch of stuff. You had a woman named Shirley Rosser, who was a Republican, and she wound up running for council, but she was a powerful influence. And so Dwight Tillery was the mayor at the time. And at the time, the way you became the mayor, before Dwight became the mayor, was you got elected to council, and then the council members decided amongst themselves who they wanted to be elevated to the mayor's position. And basically, you became a figurehead of the city. That was before we had a strong mayor. And so it was really a figurehead kind of a position, even though you did get a bigger office and you went to all the ribbon cuttings and you spoke for the city. So that's the landscape at the time. So people understood that to have political power, and one of the biggest things that you get from being on council and having a council majority is you get to determine where the money is spent. So right now, I believe the city budget is well over $1 billion. That's a lot of power when you get to determine where that money goes. And so black people were growing in population, our percentage of the population. But we were struggling to get a foothold on the council. So you might have one person get elected, maybe one person get appointed, but it was very rare that you could get more than 2 people on the 9-member council. And so we as a black community, our representatives was always forced to go compromise and go work with the white majority. And so all those people that I just listed who were leaders, who were not on council, they said, you know what? Because back in the day, leadership used to have meetings, regular meetings, where they would say, look, this is an issue. What we going to do about this with our people? So they got together, Bill Bowen, Bill Mallory, James Milton, Shirley Rosser, Sam Britton, Morris Williams, and about a dozen more people, black leaders from all different walks of life. And they said, you know what? We're going to focus on getting a adequate amount of black representation. And because our numbers are going to keep increasing, and eventually, one day, we want to have a majority of the council so that, as Vice Mayor Manette Cooper used to say, I can't do nothing unless I got 5 votes. So we wanted black people to have at least 5 votes so that they could control what goes on with the city and have that political power. Little did we know at the time that we would eventually have 2 black people on the county commission, but now black people in Cincinnati and Hamilton County had, once Alicia got elected to that seat, black people, if they had done right, had control of the council and the county commission. So they filed a lawsuit in federal court. That lawsuit went all the way up to the United States Supreme Court. And their basic argument, of course, I'm boiling it down. There's always multiple issues in the lawsuit. But the basic argument was we need representation. And the white folks argue, well, you don't have to be black to represent the black community. And I remember at the time, they kept throwing up Todd Platoon. And so they said, well, Todd Platoon, he gets the majority of the votes out of the black community. Why shouldn't he be considered a adequate representative of the black community? And a lot of Negroes, because, you know, it's always the arguments that matter are the ones that's made in the courthouse. But, of course, Negroes, you know, we get to argue in the streets and on the radio, you know, well, we don't agree with the leaders. We think Todd Platoon is an honorary black guy. So you have people take that position, and they got a right to take that position. But the position advanced by the leaders at the time was, we think it's best if we have black people who represent our interests, okay? So again, they took it up to the Supreme Court. They eventually lost. They didn't give up. They went out into the community and they said, okay, we couldn't win with the court system. Let's win with the political system. And so over the years, and again, this was in the early 1990s, over the years, you've had community activists and political leaders. They've come out with all these different strategies. We got to vote smart. That was a big campaign. We got to vote short. I remember there being a campaign. We got to vote a short ticket and just vote black. Everybody was kind of scared to say vote black. But some people and a little side note, one of the people who used to be pro-black and who actually put out a black slate and passed it out at the polling booth was Marcus Jenkins. He came up with one of the only black slates, and I mean, he produced a bunch of them and had a whole bunch of volunteers, and I think he paid some people, and they were serious about let's get a black majority. So my point is, we tried to use the legal system. We couldn't get it. Then we used the political system. It took time. You know, we worked our way up to 3, and then we worked our way up to 4, and then a few years ago, we finally reached it. We got a black majority. So if you know that history, and I'm thinking if you Mika Owens or Scotty Johnson or any of the rest of them, you probably would want to know that history when you run for council and when you get down on council. So from my perspective, even though I don't vote in Cincinnati, when I see something that I helped fight for, a black majority, when I see somebody like Mika Owens come in there and just give it away, you're giving away something that we fought hard to get. And I just think it's disrespectful to many of the people I just named off that list. They dead and gone. How do you say to them and to their memory and to their legacy, I don't give a damn about what y'all was talking about then. This is here and now. This is 2024. I'm just going to give it away. Now, I've been hearing people say in the community, well, she said she interviewed everybody who... No, she didn't. She didn't say that, and she didn't do that. What she said is, see, Mika is playing political games. She went on Lincoln Ware show the other day, and she said, I had an efficient and a transparent process. Well, if you got a transparent process, everybody would be able to see through it. They would see what went on in it. But she had some secret council that she called a council of wise elders or something she put to it. People like Cynthia Booth, they keep throwing her name out there. But the community didn't get asked if we wanted them people to be her advisors. Scotty Johnson went on Lincoln Ware show today and said he didn't know nothing about this council. He wasn't asked for his input, and he wasn't part of the council of elders or wise people. That's her colleague. So she said I went to this council and I ran these names by them, and in fact, they helped me with the interviewing. Well, it came out over the last couple of days that they was only allowed to ask certain people that she selected certain questions. But then when it came down to evaluating the answers that they gave to the questions, Mika took back the responsibility. So on one hand, she's trying to pass it off like, well, this wasn't just my decision. It was me and this council of wise people. We did it. So to take don't just shoot at me. It may be in this time of political violence, that might not be a good term, but you know what I mean. Don't just target me. Don't just lob verbal darts at me. Blame my council of wise people. And I'm sure I would bet money that if she told, and she didn't tell them who she was picking, I'm positive that they would have told her, especially Cynthia Booth, being Paul Booth's wife, and Paul Booth's daddy, with all the work, I believe he might have been part of that lawsuit, would have said, you cannot give up the black majority unless this guy is like head and shoulders above the rest of the candidates. I'm sure they would have told her that if she truly had a wise counsel. So I don't even know if that part is true. Anyway, so she goes, and there's another thing that needs to be said. Apparently, this boy, Evan Nolan, didn't even put his name forward. From what's coming out, Mika recruited him. Now, you know, I got a big thing about affirmative action because technically that's all affirmative action is. It's recruiting. We got to cast a wide net. We got to take affirmative steps, affirmative actions to get a big pool of well-qualified people. It don't say that you got to give black people points or dress. So she did some affirmative action for this white boy. She went out and recruited him, and I think that's an important point to note. So all these people say, well, what was she supposed to do? But I haven't heard of not one single African-American that she went out and recruited to be interviewed by this Council of Wise people. That's an important point. Now, who is Evan Nolan? Because, you know, what was his name? B Money, who just was talking?
B-Rab.
Be nice.
B-Rab.
B-Rab. So B-Rab was all over the place. I couldn't follow what he was saying. Is he for representation in line with the elders that I just talked about, or is he not? Is he so mad at I don't know what Kamala Harris got to do with this, or her white husband, her white Jewish husband? I don't know what that got to do with it. And I guess he was referring to Yvette Simpson. Some people got a problem that Yvette Simpson married to a white man. And then they say, well, Reggie Harris had a white boyfriend. He was a gay man. He couldn't even find another gay black man. So if they don't care nothing about blacks, then why should we? Which is irrelevant and, to me, is foolishness. So she goes and finds this guy. Now, he's not just any old guy. Yes, he was the treasurer for Avtab's campaign. But, you know, in the game Monopoly, two of the pieces that you try to get, the cards that you try to get is Boardwalk and Park Place. So I went and looked this boy up because voting records are public records. So I'm not doxing him. Can't nobody report this show and get it taken down to get your. I went and looked up Evan Nolan. I found out that he lived on Cincinnati's version of Park Place. It's called Hyde Park Place. Now, that is a red flag to me because this boy don't live around no black people. You trying to get him to replace a black man, he don't live around no black people. He live on Hyde Park Place in Oakley. Then I went and said, well, maybe he work around some black people. So he worked at a law firm called Katz Teller. So I went and pulled up their website. They got pictures of all the attorneys that work down there at Katz Teller, 33 of them. So I'm going through, I'm checking out their bios, and I'm looking at their pictures, and it's only one dark-skinned black person. Now, it might have been some super light-skinned black people that I misidentified by my naked eye as white. But it looked like it was 32 white people and one black guy. Why is that important? Because this guy, Evan Nolan, is apparently a partner in the law firm. If he ain't concerned about inclusion in his workplace, where he's a partner, where he has a say, where he has some influence, what would make us think that he's going to say something about inclusion when it comes time to spending that $1 billion out the budget? What would make y'all think that this guy is going to say anything about inclusion when it comes to hiring the city workforce, when it comes time to spending the city's money? He don't live around black people. He don't work around black people. And apparently he hasn't used his position of power within his law firm because it's his law firm. His name might not be on it, but when you're a partner, you're a part owner. So he hasn't used his part ownership of the firm to get a diversified field of attorneys. So I'm just saying, what was Mika thinking about? And then, I think this is my last point, unless you got some questions for me. Lincoln Ware asked a simple question. He said, well, because the new councilman Evan came up with Mika Owens. She came to basically face her detractor. She knew a number of black people had issues with her, and they wanted to let her have it. And so he asked the white guy, he said, well, you know, we don't know you and the black community don't know you. How would you go about making yourself known? The guy didn't say, I'm going to go to every community council. I'm going to walk through. He didn't say, I'm going to go to all the festivals. He didn't say, I'm going to go to all the churches, not wait till election time. I'm going to introduce myself to all the pastors, and hopefully they'll introduce me to the congregations. He didn't say nothing about, I'm going to go on an immediate outreach, what do they call them, listening campaign throughout the city. I'm going to have some town hall meetings. He didn't say none of that. He said, well, when election time comes, I know about going and knocking on some doors, so I pledge to you that I'm going to come knock on people. You going to come knock on black people's doors when you asking them for votes? It's just like,
I'm not
like
sure.
Baffled.
Look, I don't listen to Lincoln Ware, you might be exaggerating there. I'm pretty sure that if asked that question, he would have said, you know, that he was going to do something proactive to hear from black people.
You mean like knocking on their doors, asking them for their vote?
I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm not saying you lying. Maybe you misheard him.
You know what? I'm rethinking. Maybe I did. Maybe I was so... I don't know. I'm just saying, people, especially when you wasn't in the struggle, because Mika is old enough to have known and worked with some of the people I just listed off that list. I don't never remember seeing Mika when we started the Cincinnati chapter of the Rainbow Push Coalition. I don't remember seeing her. When they started Cincinnati National Action Network, I don't remember seeing Mika Owens. I've been involved. I had a group called the Black Marchers. We never got any interaction with Mika Owens. I was in the Cincinnati NAACP, and I don't remember Mika Owens. I'm just saying, it was a whole Cincinnati boycott campaign. Never saw Mika Owens. So, especially when you ain't involved in the struggle, when you don't participate, you just benefit from the fruits of somebody else's labor. I just think it's doubly wrong if somebody else do some work, lay the groundwork, and then you get in a position of power, and then you say, like she said, I know I said that was my last point. I got to share this. At one point in time, she started on this tangent. You know, she started talking about, I'm just like y'all. I grew up in Avondale. I was poor. I had to get on the Section 8 list for housing. They kept me on the list for 3 years. I identify with y'all. You are my people. I know the struggle. Now, I don't know what that had to do with it, because all it said to me was that she know better. So somebody had to reach down and pull her up, help her up. So when she got an opportunity to reach back and go get a black girl or a black boy or black man or black woman out of Avondale or out of Barn Hill or out of Roseline and help pull them up to where she's at, she said, F y'all, I made it. I'm going to recruit a white boy over on Hyde Park Avenue, Hyde Park Place in Oakley. I ain't reaching back to grab none of y'all and pull y'all up. I just say, my point is, you didn't do none of the work to get you in the position where you at. Now, some people going to say that's unfair. She ran her own campaign. In fact, we did the work to get Gwen McFarland as the head of the Democratic Party. So without the endorsement from the Democratic Party and all the procedures, all the fights we had with them, Mika wouldn't be where she's at. So Mika wasn't in them fights. So when you benefit from them fights and then get in a position and then turn around and don't act like you don't have no respect for the history that got you there, it's just a double slap in the face, it's a kick in the butt. And now, I want to say something about Brent Beard.
All right,
Because,
quickly.
you know, Brent Beard, if you're going to say something, say it with your chest. And then don't go backtrack. You got all these Negroes. Who, if it's their particular person, if it's somebody they like, or if it's somebody on their party, like anytime you say anything critical of Alicia Reese, you get the Reese cups. They come out the woodwork. Anytime you say something to Beyonce, the Beehive come for you. Anytime, you get what I'm saying? So, and you talked about this again a number of times. Now, Brent Beard done popped up over the last couple of days. I don't think we ought to be talking about this. Why are we attacking our sister Mika Owens? Oh, we gonna throw her away now after she made her first mistake? Well, what good is the black majority if they wasn't working for the black community in the first place? So the point is, y'all ought to ease up off Mika. Y'all ought not to be trying to hold her accountable. Y'all shouldn't be second guessing her decision. If you gonna say that, say it with your chest. Don't try to hide like, I never said anything like that. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I just think that's sort of cowardly, and because I know he participates in your show and your podcast, and he be on, I felt like I need to say it because I'm not hiding my position, and I think he is. Don't be no snake in the grass. If you for Mika and you want the rest of us to shut up because you think we shouldn't be talking about representation, we shouldn't be talking about respecting the elders and the struggle and the past struggles, say that. But don't try to play, I never said none of that stuff. I never wanted y'all to ease up off of it. Do what? Nah, cuz. We saw what you did.
All right.
That's it. You got questions for me?
I don't have any questions.
Now, I can't be like Key. Key can read the comments while she's talking and respond. So I'm going to go back to the chat and respond to all the ones that I can see. All right, man. We'll talk.
All right. Karami, I see you called a couple times. You can call back now. You know the number. Go ahead and give us a call back. I don't know. There is something to people who, and look, I'm a big proponent of, I forget who came up with the analogy, but when you're talking about fighting for justice or fighting for, Twin, hold on a second. When you're talking about fighting for justice or fighting for, rights or representation or whatever, there's an old analogy that I've heard used a number of times. You got the people who shake the tree. Those are the people who are out there fighting every day for, maybe not every day, but you know what I'm saying. They're out there fighting, marching, suing, whatever for rights. And then you got, if it's an apple tree, when the apples fall, you can't shake the tree and pick up the apples. It just seems self-serving, right? So you shake the tree, and then other people come and they gather the fruit. And if you are a fruit gatherer, sometimes you don't realize how hard it was to shake the tree. And I think we see that happening, and I think as time goes on, and because some of the fruit been on the ground for a minute, and people been slowly gathering it up. And now it looks so easy because there's so much fruit on the ground. So you don't understand how hard it was to shake that tree. And so it's easy for you to dismiss the effort that it took to get all of that fruit on the ground. So in essence, what you're doing is you're picking up the fruit and you giving it to the people who were making it difficult to shake the tree. But if you had to shake the tree, which is kind of what Nate was saying, if you're not a part of that process, it seemed like it just came like that, and like anybody can do it. And I believe, you know what I'm saying, if nothing, you got to pay respect to the people who shook the tree. Because a lot of times they don't benefit. They're fighting for the future's opportunity, and you are the future. And so you can't go taping the apples back up in the tree. That's going to make it even harder next time. That's just kind of what I see. And that might be a part of the case. Twin.
What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
Equipment and everything, all good?
It seemed to be all good so far.
I don't wish no bad luck. You let Shelly go this weekend?
If you don't make her call, then I think we'll be all right.
And I was like, man, what the heck, man? Why thing was messed up that young? I'm like, what's going on? Let Shelly go, man. I've been holding her hostage too long. And I just wanted to call her and mess with your damn brother, boy. He's something else, huh? He be up on. He know everything, huh? He politic for real.
Look, here's what I'll say. I know he was out there fighting for a long time. So,
Yeah, he did like in 60, 70 rounds when Marty Martin was fighting and getting rocks thrown up. He got mulched and everything. But hey, keep it gangster, I guess. But yeah, Daddy have Flack encourage her to do that, man. Gave her a little advice. Go ahead and hire my boy. You know what? Just go ahead and start. We got it next year. Go ahead and hire my boy. We got you. And it's a slap on the face, Emanuel. Y'all been with the struggle with the old school, your brother name from the preachers and leaders and stuff back in the day. But that's gone, man. Ain't nobody here to, the guy at the new news and everything. They just get in the seat and, I'm in the seat. I'm an official now. What y'all need? We trying to get something, but you won't give it to them. But it shouldn't be like that, man. She should have just, when Reggie left or whatever, put somebody else black in there. If that white man would have left, put somebody else white. Let's keep it, equal out or whatever. But don't want to, just because you buddy and Affleck said this and all that. Come on, man. And then you want folks, throw shades and, criticize you. But if you're wrong, like Iris say, you're wrong, you're wrong. Let y'all be held accountable for this bogus stuff y'all doing in Cincinnati, man. And for me, I really don't know too much about, a little bit, but not too much. He say, she say stuff. I'm like, yeah, in the history of how y'all getting played for many, many years. And that's got to change, man. It's got to be somebody strong, Emmanuel, to stand up for the people here. Like, no, we is not accepting this BS no more. We've been through this struggle 20, 30, 40 years ago. Not today. And everything, but, that's how I got to be, man. Quit being scared. Telling people how you really feel. You in the politics game or community, whatever, really telling people how you feel. We're not taking it no more. Hell with this. We've been through that. No. Otherwise, same people that voted for, they pump faking right now, man. It's going to be the same one go vote for again. They're talking smack. So gone with that pump faking shit. You can do this in the chat or, on the show or in Facebook, whatever. But you the same person going to be there next year when it's time to vote. So if you really, really want to get down with the get down, just go down there to, the council meeting or whatever they do, they little business. That is, hey, I feel like you was wrong and this and that, and just keep it real. Because if I run into her, I'm going to tell her how I feel. I'm going to tell her right there in the door. I'm not scared of nobody, but you can't keep holding shit because it's going to bust your damn heart. You have a heart attack. let it go. If you feel like, hey, man, I can't holler at you, man. You know why? You's an ignorant person. You stupid as hell. Whatever, some goofy stuff you'll tell them, like, I don't like who you hang with, and that's a bad influence on my kids or my life. Just tell them how you feel. If they accept it, because you'll get some ignorant, like, nigga, fuck you and all that. But, you know, if they accept it, if not, just keep moving and everything. But, you know, just quit being ashamed and, you know, quit being scared and holding stuff. Stop holding stuff back. Whatever's on your heart and you feel about that person, whatever you don't like them, you ain't got to say nothing to them. If you don't say nothing to them, they know, damn, Twin don't fuck with me. No, I don't fuck with you. You know I don't like you, ain't say how about to you. You know I don't mess with you, man. So you feel my drift. I don't like you. That's how you got to tell a person. You was dead wrong, you this and all that. So to each his own, man. I'm just saying, man.
What are you saying?
Understand? I'm just saying how I feel. How it is. How people went through the struggle through Cincinnati, and hey, this what they get, man. You know, you gotta, just because a person wear pink and she chocolate and you know they white and all that brown whatever, and that don't mean what's on the inside. Hell with the outside appearance, it's what's on the inside and everything. Your heart and your mind.
The outside kind of matter a little bit too.
Man, it don't matter shit. That's pump faking, man.
It matters.
Well, it do. I forgot. I take that back. You right. You finally right. I can't agree with you. right, but yeah, but still, man.
I'm finally right. I'm usually right.
No, you're not. You got to be checked sometime too. Now you got to be checked because you be out of order. Because you was off a little bit. I tried to catch up and see. I'm like, what is he talking about? And everything. I know I'll be off sometime, but I really had to study you a little bit today. I'm like.
I'm not out of order just because you can't catch up, just so you know.
No, you just give it to me straight. You want to dissect it like it's a frog or something. To the A, to the A, to the B, to the C, take the legs and drop it off and you put it back in, put it on. Man, come on, man. Just say one thing. Just drop it off. Just one subject, man. Just drop it off. You know.
Okay.
You ain't got to really dissect the problem. It's there, man. You got to go into details about it, but, you know, you got to break it down dummy term. I understand that sometimes we need a little bit of that. You did? So,
I think I did.
All right, man. I'll holler at you, man. Hey, glad to see you, E, man.
All right,
Twin. You went on Friday, Thursday, you been missing, and Shelly been hanging from the ceiling, and she finally out. Ain't no bees swimming around, basement and everything.
You want you some Shelly. You want you some Shelly bad, too.
Little baby girl there?
No.
No, man. It just be funny, man, the way it went down with the equipment and when Shelly was on, it was like sabotage the whole thing. But it is, but it's all fun, man. It's all fun, man.
Twin,
you got my hoodie, man.
Huh?
You got my hoodie.
What hoodie? The Chicago one?
Yeah, man. It's getting cold.
I'm working on what I think is going to be a good design. I'm not a graphic designer, so I'm just coming up with something, but I think it's going to be nice.
I'll wait like a Kool-Aid check every month, though. I'll wait for it. All right, man. Be safe, man. I'm still keep listening and everything.
All right. That was Twin. Karamia, now you can call back. It's the same number. You're calling the right number. You just are calling in too late. Like, I don't have 2, 3, 4 lines to put you on hold. So if somebody's on when you call, you just got to call back. So... But I want to hear from you. So I don't want you to think I'm, playing you to the left or whatever. I want to hear from you. But you can call now. And then I'll get you in. Oh, see, Ron's calling now. Ron.
Karamia, you can't call in because I'm in. What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Good.
So lightning gonna strike twice in the same place. So I 150% agree with Nate. I can't stand you, Nate, but he was 100% correct with what he was saying. And the thing about it is the fact that, well, not the fact that, if nobody is just 100% considering that was Abtab's choice, you sleeping. And this is just indicative of Cincinnati. And you know, I won't get over that statistic that Lincoln read on his show um, last year.
What
We were the
what
fifth most
statistic was that?
we were the fifth most racist city, but the fourth most livable city in the nation. And see, that speaks volumes in the city of Cincinnati. Because and it's a trip. You know, I keep hearing people speak about, you know, and Wyatt said that. Wyatt said it earlier today, and you know, uh, doing a chess to checkers comparison. But you know, it's like, you know, whoever
Hold on a second. Karamia, you,
it,
you have to wait until Ron hangs up and then call right back. But I can't take
hear me. I ain't gonna take long.
I can't take two calls at the same time. I only have one line. Go ahead, Ron.
I'm gonna get off, but it's a trip. You know, there's levels to poverty, and it's a trip. I discovered that last year, and you know, I typically, you know, see homeless folk, and you know, and that's the poverty scene for me. But I went to somebody's house, and you know, I won't. I just won't. I won't describe. But I went to somebody's house, and they called me again for a ride, and I didn't pick up the phone, and they left a voicemail, and the gentleman was saying in the background,
Hold on,
you
Karamia.
know,
You
you
wait until Ron hangs up. And then when Ron hangs up, you call right back, okay? She got something to say and I want to
hey,
hear it.
but
But she just keep calling
yeah,
over.
I'm great. Get off. I'm great. Get off. But like I said, the gentleman that was talking to the young lady in the background, she said, you know, or he said, you know, you don't have to worry about this, that, and the other. You need to worry about all these rats running around. And you know, like I said, I was getting ready to pick her up, and that broke my heart. That broke my heart to know that I was, you know, I was that those levels of poverty exist right now. And the reason I'm saying that is because Wyatt said something about chess and checkers, because you know they playing chess and we still playing check. Some folk playing checkers, you know. But what about poor folk that, you know, really feel like they don't have any any shit in the game? You know, I mean, it's just sad, man, and it's, you know, we're not thinking about us. We're not thinking about us as a people, and it's a trip. I learned when I filed my first lawsuit myself that I would have to stick this shit out in for myself, and I learned how people move in Cincinnati. And again, everybody that look like us ain't for us. And
All right.
and I'll just go ahead and let Karamia call.
Ron, I appreciate your call. We only got a few more weeks for those terrible things to happen.
Well, hey, you know, I mean, it's what it is right now. It's what
All
it
right.
is right now. And if you don't see it, you know, hey, you don't see it.
All right. Hey, Ron, I
All
appreciate
right.
your call.
One.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut him off. All right, Karamia, now is a great time to call. Go ahead and dial now before somebody else call. Because I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say. 513-717-KING. That, I don't think this is Karamia. Caller.
Is this Emanuel?
This is.
Hi, Emanuel. I couldn't get through on the other number.
No, you
It's
were
not.
you were fine. Just I only have one line. So yeah, somebody was on it. So, but go
I
ahead.
see that.
You're here now.
But I'm on a totally different phone now. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. And how are you?
I'm doing well. I called to get on the conversation about Tamika Owens.
I don't think her name is
And
Tamika. I think it's just
no,
Mika. Yes,
Mika Owens. I apologize.
that's all
It's
right.
Mika Owens. The position that she holds on city council, she's in charge of the climate environmental and fracture committee.
Okay.
So my question is, was she selected to make the appointed Evan Nolan? Who gave her power to do that?
Reggie Harris.
Shouldn't it have been Jan Michelle Kearney, the
No.
vice
No.
mayor?
The way they do it, like, okay, say you and I are on city council, and when you take the office, you look around and you look at all of the other people on council, and you'll look at me and you say, Emanuel, if something happens, if I step down, if I die, if I whatever, I want you to choose my replacement. It's that simple.
I don't think Reggie Harris would have agreed with her selecting Evan Nolan. Why couldn't Reggie Harris then appoint someone himself, like Cecil Thomas did, his wife?
Well,
He put
I
her
don't. No, I don't. I think you're
position.
misunderstanding the process. Reggie can't because he's stepping down. And the process is, whether you like the process or not, the process is everybody on council has designated someone else on council to choose their replacement. So you don't get a say once you're
Okay.
gone.
Well, then that can't be true because Cecil Thomas when he left his seat on city council, he appointed his wife.
No, not true.
So how did his wife get the seat?
He may have appointed her while still on council. I can't say for sure, but when he left, someone else had to appoint someone to replace him. He had designated someone as the person to make that call.
Well, the reason why I state that I don't believe that Mika Owens should have been the person to appoint because of her position as being a climate environmental infraction. That is her responsibility and her jurisdiction. I feel that, this is my personal opinion,
Uh-huh.
that it should have been Vice Mayor who did the appointment. And all of them who was left on city council should have voted that person in.
So what you're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, you just don't like the process as it is, and you want to see the process changed.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't feel that any of them are suitable and have enough experience, education, background to appoint anybody. It should have came from the vice mayor and all of the city council. Once she selects or have a pool, that they should vote who gets the seat.
But you do understand that's not the way that it actually works, right?
Right,
Okay.
I do. It needs to be changed because Mika Owens doesn't have enough experience to appoint Evan Nolan, at all. He isn't a fair representation to the black community and his background, being that he's a lawyer and he's never introduced himself to the black community. I never heard of him at all until he was appointed.
Well, he definitely never
But
introduced himself to me.
right. And Mika Owens does not have enough experience, period, to appoint anybody, being
Well,
that her jurisdiction is in climate,
No,
environment,
but no,
and infraction.
but yeah, no, that doesn't mean anything though.
It doesn't. Even her prior experience as political science. You know, I try to look her up to see if she had a major and graduate it with her major in political science. I can't find that anywhere.
Well, but I'm not sure that makes that big of a difference. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't
That
know.
doesn't make any difference.
What I mean is, I don't know that your experience is going to make you choose a better candidate.
I think it would. The reason why I say that, because if you've been in the arena of the political science, say that she's had different positions in, maybe that she was a city council member in another jurisdiction, or that she held a seat of city manager in Lincoln Heights or something. You know, it builds her character and understanding of how the political system works. And the reason I feel that she picked Nolan was to scratch her back, or it was to help her in her endeavors in future career choices.
That's possible, but any of them could do that.
That's true, but to me, she doesn't have enough experience to have picked the right candidate.
The argument could be made that the more experience you have, the more prone you are to make that political appointment based on what political favor it could get you.
And also, you can look at it not just, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, but I'm saying, does this person have experience as to know the procedures and policies of city council?
Huh?
Because he doesn't. He doesn't have any prior. None of them actually did until they got into the role.
Exactly.
But she could have made a better choice. She could have made a grassroots choice to someone who has been fighting on the line of grassroots, that have been in many political positions, like O.Z. Davis. He's a grassroots. There were several grassroots individuals that would have been perfect for that position.
Well, not in her opinion, apparently.
Because she doesn't have experience. My point.
I don't, okay. Well, since you don't agree with the process, you don't agree with the process.
I don't.
Okay, so.
I don't.
So, are you willing to work with a coalition, help build a coalition of people to maybe put something on the ballot to create some sort of a charter amendment to change that process?
Yes, that I would like to see the vice mayor involved and all of the council member vote on that candidate who will be appointed. Because then it would be more rational, and it would have different views, and, you know, they could share candidates that are more likely suitable for the position.
Okay.
That's my take on it, but
all right. And somebody wants to know: did you vote for Mika Owens?
No.
No. Why not? What did you not see in her that made you say, "I don't want her as my representative"?
The experience, you know, didn't have past experience, and
okay, I'm. What experience do you want a first
I,
time?
I only voted really for 3 of them.
Huh, wait,
I
hold on.
really did.
Wait.
I don't vote for all 5 or all 9. I'm not like that.
Something's
And I
happening.
don't vote on party lines. I don't. So I never have.
So you only vote for people who've held the office before?
No, not necessarily. I did vote for Dan Michelle. I did vote for Scotty. I did vote. There was one other person.
But
Reggie,
Scotty had
I was
never been a city
skeptical about
council
that.
person. Scotty had never been a
No,
city
but he
council
was-
person before.
No, he was on the police force, which he has had encounters with people in the past on city council. I mean, he's been around, and I would take Scotty as more grassroots. I didn't respect him today as getting on another talk show host and saying that he had nothing to do with it. If you're not guilty by association, then why even speak about it? Because
What?
he could have brought something in Mika's ear to say, but I doubted Mika Owens ever discussed it with any of the members of city council.
But I mean, I think it's kind of important if you didn't have anything to do with it to let people know I didn't have anything to do with it.
But he should have made himself have something to do with it. Like
How?
all of them. I hold all of them accountable.
Wait,
because-
hold on. Wait, Karamia.
Now wait a minute.
But Karamia, if I get to make the decision and you're also on the group, but you're not designated to make the decision, how is it your fault if I pick somebody that everybody don't like?
Okay, well then he just should have not said anything. He should have came up there and said not say anything. And the only thing Scotty is good for is apology. That's all he's ever good for. He apologized to the black community in the West End. And I'm sure now his role, he's in public and safety. You know, that's his role on city council. I have not seen anything that even Scotty has put in place to make it better for any of the citizens in Cincinnati.
But Karamia, you understand that those committees that they chair, it doesn't mean necessarily that they have any special power or even some special knowledge in that area. They're just kind of assigned those committees.
Okay, it's like a job. If you come in there and you join an organization and they say, you're responsible for this, then you are going to read up on it, you're going to educate yourself about it, and different changes that you want to make for the betterment of the people, that is what you're going to put in place. You're just not going to sit on the committee and hold your hands and do nothing.
Well, but he doesn't, just because he's the chair of the committee, again, that doesn't give him some special power. He still has to, you know, it's a vote. He just
do nothing
runs
like he does.
Huh?
Do nothing like he does.
No, he
on that committee.
No, he just runs the committee, but he can't, because he's the chair of, they don't call it law and public safety anymore, but because he's the chair of law and public safety, he can't just be like, the police getting a raise today. You know, he doesn't have that type of authority just being the chair of the committee.
He can make recommendations on public and safety and governance committee. He can make policy changes. Yes, he can.
No,
No, they have to vote on it, but he brings to their attention about some changes that he wants to make for the betterment.
But they
of
can
public
all
safety.
present motions and then vote on them. But that's all that he can do.
Tell me anything that Scotty Johnson has done for the betterment of public safety. Just tell me one thing. I'm not just asking for one thing.
Well, I I don't know. I don't know that it. I think your perception of how it works makes the question a little jaded, because
No,
again, it's not
I
that
don't
he can
think
just
so.
go in and say, stand in the middle of the city and say, everybody stop, and everybody's gonna
No.
stop.
I think you're exaggerating.
I'm-
And I
okay.
understand how it works.
Well, let me hold on.
he
What
makes-
would you like him to
He
do?
makes suggestions to make changes on policies. Not one suggestion has came from him.
Wait, so you
to
don't
the
think?
better.
Well, that's not true. He's made a number of suggestions.
Then tell me one thing.
I can't think of it because I don't know why I can't, but I've criticized him for some of his suggestions. He has made suggestions.
Okay, what did you criticize him
I
on?
don't
then?
remember. My brain don't work
Because
no
it
more.
Never happened,
It
sweetheart.
has.
He-
I'm telling you, it
Okay.
happened.
Okay.
One of the wait. It's coming to me. He made a suggestion about people leaving firearms in cars, and if people,
Yes.
because the people are breaking
Okay.
into cars,
Yes.
stealing firearms, and so he wants to hold the firearm owner responsible if someone breaks into the car and steals the firearm.
Right. Did that pass? Because that was a foolish suggestion.
But you said he
That
didn't
passed.
make any suggestions. My point
Okay.
is,
He has, but I'm saying nothing he's done has worked. Did
Well-
not they? It was. Okay. My point is, even though he did try to make a policy and a law out of that,
which you said he didn't do.
before. Okay, he did.
Okay.
He did. But it's far and few between. I'm just saying, nothing has stuck with him other than an apology to West End.
But that's all that he has the power to do unilaterally. It's like what Nate was saying. I remember Manette Cooper used to always say, you got to be able to count to 5 in order to get anything passed. And if he doesn't
Right.
have 4 additional people who are going to vote with him, he can stand up. He has the power unilaterally to hold a press conference and say, I apologize for what happened 187 years ago. That he has the authority to do, because it means nothing. It's symbolic.
That
But
it means
he doesn't
it's
have the
symbolic.
authority to unilaterally do anything, to change a law, change a rule, do anything of that nature.
Unless he gets 5 votes. And
Right.
that's true. Just like the nonsense of him trying to make anybody breaking the law who had firearms in the car, that they would get cited. It
Right.
didn't pass.
Right.
And even his apology was worthless because nothing behind it can he do.
But what do
with
you
the
want him to
apology.
do?
He can't make it better.
But
for the
so,
people. Can't make
Karamia,
any changes without all 5.
but what do you want him to do?
What I want me to, what we just discussed, I want that appointment changed, the way they can appoint people. I want it to come down to be on the ballot 1 year or election, if we do get enough petitions signed to become on the ballot, that it goes through the vice mayor, selects a pool, and the city council, 5 of them vote on who will be appointed.
Karamia, will you spearhead that effort?
No, I'm 68 and I'm too old, but I will do
No, hold on. Let me push back. 68 is not too old. Actually, for some people, 68 is the perfect age. Do you know that, in particular, a lot of the conservative movements are spearheaded and continue by much older people because
I know.
they're no longer
I
in the
know.
workforce, and they may have time and energy to dedicate to leaving the world, the city, the county, the state, the country
I know.
in a better position, when they
I
do.
have made changes and spearhead other complaints and got them through, like Schuster's Bar. I got that closed by having a petition, going to city council, being heard for 3 minutes, going back and forth, and finally they closed Schuster. I'm also tied up with the Board of Election, volunteering for them, and being involved in the election. Now, I have a lot on my plate, but yes, that is something truly important.
Right.
And it does need to be spearheaded.
So
And I
forget
do
about the
agree
bar,
with you.
forget about the volunteering for the Board of Elections, drop all of that. And this is very important. And you can spearhead this, and you have experience.
Okay. Maybe next year I will start up a petition to get signed, because it is a lot of bureaucrat that you've got to go through. You've got to get thousands of people involved, sign a petition, go forth to city council, try to make a motion for them to make it a policy to implement. Now, I am familiar with that. I truly am. But it does take a lot of work.
Yes. But I believe in you.
And
I believe in you, Karamia.
okay, Nate, would you sign my petition
Absolutely.
to have it done like that?
Absolutely.
We will see.
All right.
So after the election, I'll see where my mental capacity is,
Okay.
and I'll go forth with that.
All right. All
It was
right.
good talking to you.
It
It
was
really
good.
was.
It was good talking to you
Because
as well.
Right. You gave me some knowledge about how it's done now in their policy, and it's got to change.
All right. Hey, thank you for
All
the
right, have a
call.
good
I
evening.
appreciate your support.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. There we go. See, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Now she about to become a tree shaker. Yes. She did call me Nate. It was an accident. I understand. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Y'all know I got some stuff to do, and apparently I have at least one delivery to make today. So I appreciate y'all all hanging out with me. I don't like the idea that the black majority is gone, even though I understand the idea that just because it's a black majority doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna work in the interest of the black community. I get that. I do. I get it. But at what did B-Rap say? All skin folk ain't kin folk, and whatever the thing is. I understand that. I understand that. But some stuff starts symbolically and has to grow to maturity. And I think for some people, it's almost, I'm gonna call it an Obama effect type of thing. I can't guarantee it, but I believe there were a lot of young people who saw Barack Obama ascend to the presidency. And some of us looked at it and said, he didn't do enough for black people. But guess what that probably did? It put some other people in the pipeline who would have never considered it even a possibility. Just seeing it made it possible in their minds. And so they are on that path now. So you see the black majority. And maybe that's why you had a number of qualified candidates. Because they're like, black majority. Now it's a reality. I see it. It can happen. We can do it. And now that it's a reality for them, they're ready to. So you eventually, hopefully, end up with 5 good-minded black people who want to work in the best interest of the city and the black community. But then you take that away, And for some of them, it looked like, oh, it's still not possible. Even when we get it, they take it away or we give it away. So I think even if just symbolically, it is important. Key,
Hey, man, you still on the air?
I am.
Okay, I thought you was going off. I was trying to call you. I'm in the store. I didn't know if I was going to be one of them deliveries. I was just checking to see because I'm out and about moving around. I was like,
I will
is he
reach
gonna
out
be
to
with
you.
me?
I will reach out to you. I will reach out to you.
Okay. Okay, hey, everybody. I can't see the chat. I'm in the store. So I was just checking with Emanuel. I thought he was off. He said he's about to go, but he ain't going nowhere. I guess.
I'm going.
You're going to talk for another
I'm
15
going now.
minutes, probably.
Nope, I'm going now. I was wrapping it up.
Okay. Okay, wrap it up.
Key, enjoy
All right,
your
Emanuel.
day. All right. That's Key. Yeah, I gotta wrap it up. Yeah, because I have to deliver her shirts as well. So, Brent.
No, you cannot wrap it up. I was in a meeting and I heard your brother slander me. And he was sprinkling a whole bunch of Tony Sashery on everything he was saying.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know Tony Sashery seasoning with the green? It's like a Cajun spicy seasoning.
Nope.
Well, that's right. Y'all only got cinnamon up there to season y'all food in Cincinnati. But so my hoodie's in the mail. It's in the mail.
Yes, it is.
All right. I didn't know if I was gonna get that hoodie before them folks was gonna get them Trump shoes and
Nah,
the
you
Trump
got
Bible.
the hoodie is in the mail. I didn't see your payment come through, but
What? No, I sent it, but I'll check again just to make sure
all right.
that you get your money because I don't want to short you.
All right.
But yeah, let me start with, I didn't realize how sensitive of an issue this was with the whole city council thing was up there in Cincinnati. You know, considering here in Dallas, we had two black male councilmen, one of them in his late 50s, still wearing cornrows, got in a fist fight at a radio station. So we've seen some crazy things down here when it comes to city council. But, yeah, with Mika Owens appointed, what's his name, Evan, we'll call him Jaheim Nolan, to that open city council seat. And I totally understand what people are saying. We need a black majority. We want a black majority, and she appointed a white guy. And that in the past, when there's been a white majority, you know, they maybe haven't, well, I'm sure they haven't. They weren't playing fair, and, you know, things that concern black people weren't getting addressed. I think the difference in that is that all those white folks were elected. This one white person was selected by a black woman. And what I was saying, that however she made her decision, who were those council of elders, you know, maybe one of them was a liar. I don't know. Whoever they were, that's who she picked. From what I understand, she did nothing illegal. That is the process, that whoever you designate to replace you on city council, that's who gets to pick. They ain't got to talk to nobody else if they don't want to. They don't have to talk to the other council members. So, yeah, I think there are some, you know, hurt feelings over that. So my whole thing was pretty much the decision is made. I don't think there's anything that can be done legally to remove her immediately for making the decision. Because I was the one that pointed out when she was talking about what identity politics, that term was coined by Richard Spencer, who was a known avowed racist. So I'm like, why in the world would she use something like that? So that's the only thing I was saying. So now that it's happened, looks like he's not going to back down. What do you do next? You got a few options. Are you going to shun Mika Owens and shun Evan, even though they haven't voted on, proposed a single thing, and possibly push both of them over to to the white side, or are you going to hold her feet to the fire on votes and what you want in the community, hold his feet to the fire so you can get things done, and then when both of them are up for election, or him for the first time and her I don't know how many times, if they don't do what you want to do, both of them jokers out.
Well, let me say this. I think it's important to talk about it. I think it's important because there were people who had that history that Nate talked about. There were people who had no idea that was a long struggle and fight that a lot of people had. So if we just look at it and say, okay, what happened, let's not talk about it, then a lot of people don't get an opportunity to learn why it's important.
Yeah.
Current city council members don't get an opportunity to see how passionate people are about it. So if it happened and we just said, oh, I'm disappointed, and then moved on, then it could easily happen again. That's why you don't just sit back, let things happen and say, that's disappointing. Oh, well, on to the next. You know what I'm saying? You have to talk about it. And if there are people who want to see Evan held accountable and see Mika held accountable, again, I think you have to talk about it. You have to keep it in people's minds so that people understand this is maybe why we're being a little I'm gonna say maybe a little harsh in terms of judging. You know what I'm saying? We're hypercritical now of her decisions. It's not just because we don't like Mika. It's because this thing that we keep talking about happened, and so we have to be hypercritical of her decisions because it seems as if she doesn't respect the struggle that has happened or whatever. So there's you have to, I feel like you have to talk about it. You have to talk about it continually, and you know what I'm saying, you have to take it to that next step. Hopefully not to the point where, you're like, because hopefully she's mature enough and Evan is mature enough to say, look, I'm going to take heat for this and criticism and not be like, well, if you're going to criticize me, then I'm going to just vote against everything black. That would be horrible for them, but it would show their character as well. So, no, I think...
But it would also be understandable.
No.
Because if you're gonna throw me out with the baby with the bathwater, and you're gonna say, oh, well, screw you and everything you've done up to this point.
No. I don't think it would be understandable at all.
You are the king of petty, so it's possible.
It is possible, but I don't think. First, I reject that I'm the king of petty. But it is possible, but I don't think it's reasonable. I think if I did something, which I would never do to disappoint people. If I did something that disappointed people, and people were like, "Man, that's disappointing," it would be. I hate to invoke Smitherman, but to some degree, that's what Smitherman did. People criticized him, and then he didn't get reelected, and so he just totally flipped and went the other way. And it makes you seem very much. I can't recall words, Brent, and it's frustrating. But it makes you seem like just that kind of person that will do whatever it takes, will blow with the wind for your political advancement. And I would like to think that neither Mika Owens nor this guy who I have no idea who he is, Evan, is that type of person. But if they are, then hopefully this opens people's eyes to that. And then they're like, well, let's vote both of them out.
Yeah, and I brought up because everything I was hearing, even though Scotty Johnson, when White Line called in, and I'd hate to say it, but White Line made an actual good point. It sounds like you're only concerned with it being a black face on the city council. And Scotty Johnson, clutched his pearls and, oh, I'm so offended and everything. And then Lincoln turned around and echoed, yeah, you better be white. And then he said it again, over the air. Yeah, well, it better be black, not white, but better be a black person. And I brought up, I'm like, wasn't there somebody on city council that, pretty much got a black business shut down because of his relentless effort? And it was Christopher Smitherman and what was the restaurant? the black lady,
Mahogany. Liz.
Mahogany. Where he attacked her. So it's not just about having a 5-person or 5 black people there. You got to have the right 5 people, and if all 5 of them are black, great. Because I'm assuming that if she is bringing him on board, he knows that, look, you vote how I vote. Because I put you on, you didn't have to win no election. You vote how I vote. Now, is there some collusion possibly with
No, that's never the understanding when we got to keep in mind we live in America, right? Mm-hmm. So that would be the understanding if it were the other way around. I brought your black ass in here. You better vote the way I vote. But when it's reversed, you brought me in. I'm here now. You do what you do. I do what I do. That's it sounds crazy, but it's never the understanding that you black, you gave me the rub, and now I have to follow you. That's just not the way it works in America and in Cincinnati. It's just not. And the idea that, I keep hearing people say, oh, it's just about a black face. Oh, it's just about a black face. All skin folk ain't kin folk and all of that kind of stuff. They might not think the right way. She had plenty of opportunity to pick. There was a gigantic talent pool out here where you can find the black face and the right mentality.
The right person.
And so, again, to me, it says, this white guy's better than all y'all black asses.
Hey, well, she wouldn't be the only black person there in Cincinnati thought the white man's water was colder and the ice was colder. So, but no, I totally get what you said. Yeah, there were plenty of qualified people and everything, but so folks are gonna be that because I just thought I'd call somebody's baby ugly or kick their dog or something the way Nate was coming at me and the way Nat Turner was coming at me. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just, like I told both of them, I'm like, look, my name is not Michael Vick and I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just trying to look at it from a political strategic standpoint of what do you do now? Because you can be mad all day long. You be mad until they vote, until your vote comes up next time. But if they aren't voting the way you want to, or even if they are voting the way you want to, and it comes up to that time again, say Mika Owens, everything they put forth is the black agenda. If she votes for it, Evan votes for it, and then they both come up for re-election. Do you go back to this one point in time and say, oh, she didn't put a black person qualified, because there are a whole bunch of them qualified black persons, so I ain't gonna vote her back in? Is that what you do?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but and that's the bid that she made, so she has to line it. So
maybe you say we got to replace Mika and we got to replace Evan and maybe we got to replace one more. So then we got a 6-person majority, and if somebody give away one of our seats to somebody else, we still got a majority. So you have to think strategically, just understanding that just because they in there and they black don't mean they gonna hold that black majority. They might try to give it away.
Yeah. And is anyone going to blame Reggie for shooting Cincinnati the deuces and putting Mika in that situation?
No.
Or for having, she made the choice. I'm guessing he knew what type of person she was, so that's on him choosing him.
No, I doubt that he knew. I mean, you can't know. You know what I'm saying? You believe that you know a person's character and, where they stand, and you say, okay, I trust you to pick my replacement. But then you gone. So if they pick the wrong person, you can't blame the person who left.
Yeah. Now Cincinnati has a 9-person city council. Is that correct?
Yes.
So which city council person is able to select 2 different people? Because it's an odd number, so it's not evenly distributed. So one person, if 2 people leave, they have the ability to appoint.
No. Okay, you're one, Brent. You're one of 9.
Yep.
You get to pick of those other 8 people. You get to say, Emanuel, you appoint my guy. Now, John over here might also say, Emanuel, you appoint my guy. Everybody might like me and trust my decision making, or everybody might pick somebody else. Just it's who you pick, who you designate as the person to pick your replacement.
Yeah, so one person definitely has more than one person to designate. If that person decides to step down or leave for whatever reason.
Not necessarily.
Somebody has to have two because
No.
it's an odd number.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. You ready?
Yes.
Number 1 can pick number 2. Number 2
Yep.
can pick number 3. Number 3 can pick number 4. Number 4 can pick number 5. Number 5 can pick number 6. Number 6 can pick number 7. Number 7 can pick number 8. Number 8 can pick number 9. And number 9 can pick number 1.
9 can pick number 1. Yeah. Gotcha. Yep. You're right.
I keep telling you, I'm always, just don't even question me. When I say it, just be like, you're right. I don't understand it, but I trust you.
Look, with that attitude, if that afternoon experiment logo is off by 1/10 of 1 degree, I want my money back. But yeah. Oh, but one question about shirts. Now,
Okay.
are you planning on doing any turtleneck versions?
No, I had not intended on doing any turtleneck versions.
Okay. Well, do you at least have a turtleneck connect?
A what?
A turtleneck connection.
I can get turtlenecks, yes.
Okay, because what I'm trying to, this is a little bit of the wrestling report. Christian Cage, and in AEW, he's known as the patriarchy, to where his main steez is that he tells people that their fathers are dead, and guess what? Their fathers really are dead.
Yes.
But he wrestles in a turtleneck. So I'm looking for 3 nice maybe I should have to link to this question. 3 nice turtlenecks so me and my sons can recreate the patriarchy.
Oh.
And I want to tag Christian Cage, and if he responds with anything other than how a heel should respond, I will be thoroughly insulted.
I'll see what I can do about getting you some turtlenecks.
All right, they got to be nice. I'm thinking about the ones with the big neck on it,
Yeah.
and not just a plain one, but maybe like a little design in it.
Yes.
But they have to be black. They have to be black.
I'll see what I can do.
But all right, I know you're trying to get out of here, but that meeting ran long, and good Lord, they expect me to do some work. Ain't that something? They paying my bills, and they expect me to do some work. But all right.
All right, Brent. Have a good one.
All right.
All right, that was Brent. Look, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. As always, y'all always making me stay longer. Everybody, get out. It's kind of cold out, but I don't typically like the cold, but it's a decent cold. If you get out there and you start doing like not today, but it's probably on Saturday, get out there and blow all these leaves falling off the tree and get them up. It should be a good day for that. But get out, enjoy it, put on some warm clothes, a hoodie or, a jacket or something like that. And Vernon says, Mika, I'm still with you. And I'm not against Mika. I don't like the decision that Mika made. But I'm not anti-Mika. And if it sounded like that, then that's not my intention. But I will be maybe a little more critical in terms of watching the decisions that she makes, because this kind of sends a little bit of a message. And I hope it's like a one-off. And I really, realistically, I'm hoping it was something political that, of course, she'll never say, I did it for political reasons, but hopefully it was something, done for political reasons or political favor or something like that. And, we can move on. And just keep an eye on her. Because to me, it does rise to that level, but not to the level of tossing her out. All right. And that's how I feel about it. Get out. Enjoy the cool fall weather. Went to Halloween Haunt on Saturday, I think, up at Kings Island. And can I tell you, it was the most crowded that I have ever seen Kings Island. And I've been going to Kings Island since I was a little bitty kid. I've never seen Kings Island that crowded. ever. So people are out there enjoying Halloween Haunt, and it's one of those things where you kind of feel like, hey, I ain't really in the crowds like that, but to see all the people out just having fun, enjoying themselves, getting a little scared and all of that kind of stuff, it was nice. But again, it was the most crowded that I've ever seen Kings Island in my life. Are the rides still on? The majority of the rides are still operational, yes. Definitely the roller coasters are all still going, and a number of the rides are. Like the water rides, no. But a lot of the rides are still going. And the lines for those rides are long, because it was the most crowded I've ever seen Kings Island in my life. But I had a good time. No, the little baby didn't go. I didn't want to take the little baby because I know, you know what I'm saying, there's going to be people running around scaring people. But that don't start till 6. So I might take her next week, or, this coming up Saturday. I might take her up there early in the day because I think they do some little trick-or-treat type stuff for the kids. And a few of the little kids' rides is open and everything too. So I might do that. Jericho says, was it crowded? It was the most crowded I've ever seen it. But it was fun for all. Anyway, that's about it. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. And as you're out and about, as always, be the reason that somebody smiles. Till next time. I'm out, y'all. Peace.